Sometimes the person who loves you the most is the one who suddenly grows distant. Their messages slow down, their tone changes, and their warmth feels cold. You sense it, don't you? That quiet shift that speaks louder than words. You start questioning yourself. Did you do something wrong? Did they stop caring? Or are they just tired of you? But the truth is, people often ignore the ones they deeply love. Not because they've stopped loving them, but because they feel too much. Welcome to a space where we dive deeper than words. A place to understand what hearts can't always say. When someone truly loves you, their emotions are intense. You become a part of their world, their thoughts, their peace, and sometimes their chaos. But love, especially deep love, isn't always easy to carry. It exposes vulnerabilities, fears, and insecurities. Some people don't know how to handle that weight. So, they withdraw. They pull away not to forget you but to protect themselves, or even to protect you from their own storms. Ignoring becomes a defense mechanism. They might silence their feelings to avoid showing how much you actually mean to them. Because love, real love, terrifies people. It brings up past wounds, the fear of losing control, the fear of being hurt again. And sometimes distance feels safer than honesty. You might notice them acting like you don't matter, when in truth, you're the one person they think about when they're alone. You're the thought they can't escape, the silence they can't explain. But pride, fear, and overthinking, they all build invisible walls around love. There's another side to it too. When love is one-sided, the one who loves deeply feels every rejection like a cut. They give, they wait, they hope. And when they realize the same energy isn't returned, their heart learns to protect itself by pretending not to care. It's not hatred. It's exhaustion. A quiet attempt to stop feeling so much for someone who feels so little. But whether it's love held back by fear or love fading from pain, the silence between two hearts always says more than words ever could. Because in that silence, one heart is screaming, "I wish things were different," while the other is whispering, "I don't know how to fix this." And in that quiet distance, both hearts ache in different ways. One feels abandoned, while the other feels trapped by its own emotions. The one who ignores is not always cold. Sometimes they are simply overwhelmed, trying to figure out why loving you hurts when it was supposed to heal. They replay moments in their head, the laughter, the promises, the little details only they noticed, and every memory becomes both comfort and torment. There's a strange paradox in love. The closer someone gets to your soul, the easier it becomes for them to touch your pain. That's why people who care too much sometimes disappear without warning. It's not that they've stopped caring, it's that they care too deeply. They need time to breathe, to rebuild the walls that loving you slowly broke down. You might think they're ignoring you because you're not enough. But the truth is, you were probably the one person who made them feel everything they tried to suppress. And feeling that deeply can be terrifying for someone who's not ready to face themselves. So instead of opening up, they hide. Instead of speaking, they stay silent. And in that silence, they hope you'll somehow understand what they can't say out loud, that their distance isn't rejection. It's confusion. Still, the one who's waiting on the other side, you, start to crumble under the weight of uncertainty. You overthink every message, every pause, every unread text. You start to believe you're the problem. But listen carefully. Love doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it just hides behind fear, waiting for clarity. And sometimes it never returns, because not every love story is meant to be healed. Some are meant to teach you how to never lose yourself again in the process of loving someone else. The lesson buried beneath all of this is simple yet painful. You cannot chase someone into loving you the way you love them. You cannot heal someone who's running from their own heart. The more you chase, the farther they'll go. But when you learn to stand still, when you learn to love without losing your peace, that's when real love, the kind that's free, steady, and true, finds its way back to you. Because love that's meant for you will never need to hide in silence. It won't make you feel like you have to beg for attention or prove your worth just to be seen. The right love doesn't play hide and seek with your emotions. It meets you where you are, without confusion, without hesitation. But to recognize that kind of love, you must first understand the kind that wounds you. You see, the one who ignores you might not be cruel. They might just be human. People carry their own battles, traumas, and fears that have nothing to do with you. Sometimes their distance is a reflection of what they're fighting inside. They push away what feels too real because real things demand honesty. and honesty exposes the parts of them they've kept buried for years. But here's the truth. You don't have to keep waiting for someone to see your worth. You don't have to keep proving that you're enough. The love you keep trying to give to someone else is the same love your own heart has been begging to receive. When someone ignores you, it's the universe's quiet way of redirecting you toward yourself, toward your own healing, toward the kind of peace that doesn't depend on anyone's attention. You were never meant to chase love. You were meant to radiate it. And the moment you stop running after those who can't meet you halfway, you'll realize something powerful. The love you were searching for was never lost. It was just waiting for you to turn inward. Because sometimes the greatest act of strength isn't holding on. It's learning to let go with grace. To look at the silence, the distance, the unanswered messages, and still whisper, I deserve more than confusion. That's not pride. That's healing. And that's where real love begins. Not in someone else's hands, but in your own. And as you begin to reclaim that love within yourself, something beautiful happens. The ache that once consumed you starts to soften. You stop checking your phone for their reply. You stop replaying conversations in your mind, trying to find where things went wrong. Instead, you start to feel a quiet strength, the kind that comes from knowing you gave your heart sincerely, and that's enough. Because the one who ignored you didn't take your worth with them. They only revealed what they were capable of giving. Their silence becomes your closure. Their absence becomes your clarity. You begin to see that being ignored by someone you loved deeply isn't the end. It's the beginning of seeing your value through clearer eyes. You start to realize that love isn't supposed to drain you. It's supposed to ground you. Real love won't make you question your place in someone's life. It won't punish you with distance. It won't leave you wondering why your heart feels like a burden. Real love will meet your peace, not disturb it. And when you understand that, everything changes. You stop chasing people who need to lose you to appreciate you. You stop confusing intensity with intimacy. You start choosing peace over chaos, self-respect over attachment, and growth over guilt. Because sometimes being ignored by someone who once made you feel seen is the universe's way of guiding you toward the love story you were always meant to live. The one where you no longer beg to be chosen, because you finally choose yourself.